Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Weil here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
Dragon, I know what we're gonna do today. We're gonna activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right, in honor of the 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival, I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 through the series, experiencing his reactions watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories through the years. Today's episodes are No More Bunny Business and Spa Day. So, Dragon, the new rabbit in town. How you feel about this one?
Yes, this is a fun gimmick episode. Definitely some shakeups to the Parrot Platypus and Doofenshmirtz formula
Oh yeah.
for sure. We show that Parrot the Platypus is indeed replaceable.
Yep.
We're not talking about the bunny, kids.
Oh no. The it's like he's replaced Doofenshmirtz, and Doofenshmirtz is the one who replaces him in this case, and it doesn't go exactly the way he planned.
Nope.
All right. So, all right. So let's get into it.
Right.
So the boys are basically pulling a SpongeBob and waiting in the mailbox for their delivery.
Yep.
Hi, mailman. Except they didn't like actually spook or scare the mail carrier this time.
What are they waiting for, Jacob?
X-ray glasses that they ordered out of a comic book.
I love this. I love them kind of satirizing the classic, the old school things we had in the comics, where you had like all these ads for essentially pointless junk, but you have like the X-ray glasses and like the bodybuilding stuff and like the sea monkeys and everything. In this case, like tiny spaceship, fake tape recorder, etc., etc.
Well, in this case, the bodybuilding course actually seemed to work for Ferb at least.
Yeah, it did. But that's what I'm saying. I like that we kind of, we're kind of lampooning, the old scam there. And we're kind of calling it out. We're making it better.
That whole Charles Atlas thing or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
It's like now Phineas like checks out the X-ray glasses and even reads the you should have read the disclaimer up front. It's like doesn't actually provide X-ray vision. Oh man, this is a ripoff. Just like that bodybuilding course, and then Ferb just like flexes like he's Ferb is jacked basically.
Well, half the time.
He just hides it very well.
Yeah, there you go.
He just hides being jacked very very well.
All right, so the boys make some legit X-ray glasses using carrots, which I like. It's a really good design element where it's like green and orange. I don't know. It looked really. I was like the idea there, and the idea we're using the old adage of carrots help your vision.
Yeah, I mean, I don't actually know like how truthful that is, and obviously it's exaggerated to a degree because you can't just like compound carrots into a solution, put them in glasses for a frame of glasses, and get actual X-ray vision.
Also, people, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They can't wear hats.
Well, I'm sure they could. They can't pull it off as well as Perry does.
Exactly. So,
well, to be fair, rabbits probably can't wear hats either in this case. I mean, they don't have the ears for it.
Yep. Anyway,
you'd think Phineas would have thought like, hey, maybe we should do our own before ordering it out of a comic book.
Well, again, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah, I know.
We didn't need it because we could buy it, but we were robbed. They took us for rubes. We were schmeckeldorfed.
That's not even a word, and I agree with you.
Exactly. So, I gotta be honest. Here's something I was a little worried about: the X-ray glasses. The boys make the X-ray glasses and they actually work, and I appreciate that we use them wholesomely. I was a little worried we were going to have Ferb chasing after Vanessa, if you catch my meaning. We did not. We did not do that.
Yeah, I get your drift, but yeah, they used it for like utilitarian purposes. Like they used it to help Isabella's mom find her wedding ring. They helped solve the case of Buford's stomach ache. It's just like he won the best eater contest and even ate the ribbon.
The montage is great. My favorite thing in the montage the cereal box prizes. I love that gag because that's the first thing any kid would do. It's just like, yes, the cereal box. We can find out what prizes are exactly in each box.
And let's face it, you go with the one with the biggest toy.
Yeah, big old dinosaur, robotic dinosaur. Looks cool.
I mean, to be fair, they could all. Phineas and Ferb could probably build an actual giant robotic dinosaur.
But it was the fact that it was free, Jacob.
Well, you have to buy the cereal box.
Anyway,
I know. Like, Dragon, I know. I did that all the time too. I was like, where's the toy? Where's the toy in the cereal box?
yeah. All right, so.
But yeah, but they even like help an archaeologist find an actual dinosaur.
It's the theme of dinosaurs this episode.
Seems that way, yeah. And of course, like even like the gingerbread house with the witch inside, and then aliens experimenting on a cow.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So let's talk about the real serious problem.
The real serious problem. As it turns out, the Alka is having trouble with a rogue agent.
The serious part of the problem is that Carl can't draw. He lied, Jacob. Carl lied about his drawing abilities, and now we're all blinded by it.
You know what time? You know what that means?
Dang it, Carl!
Dang it, Carl!
You are so fired. You're so effing fired, Carl.
Now, which one of these Carls is a good artist?
I'm gonna say, probably Carl the store manager from Family Guy. He's probably good. Probably.
I mean, let's see. There's also a couple other options, like
maybe Carl Gould because he's holding a book.
I mean, I think he's just more of an academic.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe let's just say, Carl Fowley might be able to draw. I don't know. He might be able to do it.
I don't know. Like I've never actually seen as told by Ginger.
I mean, he's clever. I mean, I don't know.
All right.
Maybe. Okay, maybe Carl. Do you think Carlos is good at anything?
Carlos?
Yeah, Carlos.
Probably. He's probably good at a lot of things, but I don't know about drawing.
Okay. The point being, any of these guys are probably better at drawing than Carl.
Yeah, probably.
Anywho, so so there's essentially a rogue agent who became a mercenary. That mercenary's name,
Dennis.
Much like the SpongeBob movie villain.
Yeah, but instead of being a towering fish voiced by Alec Baldwin, it's just a rabbit.
Yep.
Who's apparently a master of disguise.
Yep, it was voiced by Christoph Waltz. Well, tell me I'm wrong. He didn't say anything. It doesn't mean he's not him.
That is true.
Yep.
Although I think his vocal effects are provided by D. Baker.
Oh. Well, never mind then. So, I thought the bunny was silent. I didn't know he made any sounds.
Yeah, he does make a couple noises here and there.
I guess the carrot eating sound, so you're right, D. Baker.
He does do a couple growling noises.
Anywho. So, you got Dennis. Dennis is trying to get into Perry Platypus's lair so he can hack in the computer and steal all the secrets and essentially oust Alka.
Essentially, yeah. It's like steal all their secrets and probably get into their database.
So what's his Trojan horse plan, Jacob? How's Dennis getting into the Flynn Fletcher home?
By posing as an ordinary little bunny rabbit.
Candace adopts and names
Mr. Cutie Patootie.
Mr. Cutie Patootie.
Yes. It's like, and she treats him basically like dresses up in different kinds of like doll clothes, which obviously he despises. but he's just putting it like, it's for the mission. You can just tell that's what he's thinking when he's like looking up to the side when she's not there.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'm doing this for the mission.
It's nice that they're having kind of like this secret hidden fight, between the two of them. Perry and Dennis just having these little kind of these covert fights, and every time someone looks, even Linda for a change, like, oh, you guys got a new pet.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's when Perry is sent on the mission, Phineas actually sees Perry up on the chimney looking for him. It's like, oh, there's Perry. Well, if he got himself up there, he can get himself down.
This is the effective thing. Okay, every time Perry goes somewhere, he's going somewhere with binoculars, just perching on random locations.
It's like you think more. You think people because like, oh hey, what's our platypus doing on the freaking chimney?
So let's talk about the real star of this episode, Jacob.
Doofenshmirtz.
Of course. So Doofenshmirtz. I love that he's intricately planning his monologue for Perry, but Perry just isn't showing up, so it goes with an understudy.
Well, you know how theatrical Doofenshmirtz is.
Of course.
Like so he of course he naturally practices and even like writes out a script and everything. It's all about the rehearsal, Dragon.
Presentation.
That's what makes him a supervillain.
Oh yeah, so he cast the in the role of understudy for Perry the Platypus. We have Planty, the potted plant.
Yeah,
Makes him a little paper hat and everything.
It's like I love Planty.
Planty here. Planty is not to be trifled with. Kids.
Heck no. It's like Planty. Like let's just basically he's literally a plant. It's like we have comment from Code Geass saying Doofenshmirtz and Megamon would be good friends.
Oh, absolutely. They get along famously.
They would indeed.
Yep.
Does that mean Metro Man and Perry would get along?
Honestly, my impression, I don't think Perry the Platypus would respect Metro Man.
Because of his ego?
Well, ego, and also the fact that he kind of gave up and he's just like playing, he became Music Man for a bit, all that.
Yeah, that probably is true.
I have eyes and I can see.
Did we ever cover Mega Man? Not Mega Man, Mega Mind on this show, on this podcast?
I'm pretty sure Tika and I did some for the 10th anniversary.
Oh, all right. I need to watch that then.
Yeah.
Anyway. So Doofenshmirtz like creates a little like folds up a newspaper because like he just stands there like a potted plant. And then he's like, he even traps. He's like, I don't even need Perry the Platypus.
So trapping this potted plant was a horrible mistake because it works almost like a pendulum effect where he knocks it around during his monologue and it knocks him out and destroys everything. So, Jacob, we should talk about Doofenshmirtz's plot this episode.
Yeah, his plot was basically it's kind of a relatable one if you think about it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's evil. I'm totally on board for Doofenshmirtz's plan here. I think we should do this actually.
You want to get rid of dogs?
Well, not lethally. I'm not a monster. I'm just saying, like, yeah, just send them somewhere else and have them all go. They'll eventually find their way home. It's gonna take them a while though. Send them to France or somewhere. I don't care. It's that,
take those dogs and push them somewhere else.
Exactly.
It's like apparently the condo next to his building started allowing pets and they started barking like crazy, driving him nuts.
Exactly.
And so it's basically his goal is to basically like coat a giant bone in gravy and have it fly away, dragging or basically drawing all the dogs away from his building.
Now, in retrospect, Doofenshmirtz probably saved himself a lot of trouble with legwork if he just soundproofed the windows in his building.
That would work. That probably would, but he never thinks things through practically.
No, God, no.
And he wouldn't be nearly as funny if he did.
That's true. So,
why do I suddenly sense an imminent Great Dream or Drinking podcast? We're probably not going to do that, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, we could maybe down the line, but it's probably unlikely. What do you think, right, Dragon?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll always don't get me wrong, we love DreamWorks, but I mean, there'd be just a lot of logistical stuff with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so you're up for Doofenshmirtz's plan in this case.
Yes, absolutely.
You want to get rid of the dogs.
Hashtag let the evil win.
Just randomly type that, like, let's let evil win. Just not even any context. Just go to Twitter or Facebook.
Or more accurately, let evil win this time. Just let the evil win. It's like let the devil out. Let the evil in. Just let it in.
Who let the evil out instead of who let the dogs out?
Exactly my point.
But so yeah, Doofenshmirtz's plan. Basically, it's like, don't start me like that. He shoves the plant away.
And that's his doom right there. Hits him, hits everything, and wrecks the whole place, and he's just tired. And then the dogs burst in to get the bone because they've all been. They're all going for the bone. The bone hasn't launched yet, so yeah.
Doofenshmirtz gets beaten by a plant.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite Doofenshmirtz moments of all time.
It's pretty great, right?
The fact that he literally brought him on himself and he loses because of a plant.
Yeah.
It's like he proved to be a more formidable foe than Doofenshmirtz could handle.
Oh yeah.
He actually seemed to do better than Perry in that regard. Because Perry at least does it. Perry, I mean, think about it. Perry always escapes from his trap. Planty did it while within his trap. He did it with Planty didn't even have to escape to beat Doofenshmirtz. So if you think about it, he's actually better at his job. Anyway, what next then?
Let's see. Well, I think we're. Well, let's think. So Perry is doing battle with Dennis, and we have a really exciting climax here where Dennis gets inside the lair.
He uses one of Phineas and Ferb's discarded X-ray glasses to find a secret entrance.
Yep, and it's pretty tense. It's like oh no, Agent P, you don't let him, and he gets in there. So what's Perry to do? The boys to mass produce these X-ray glasses. They ordered like a whole bunch of carrots, and all those carrots basically one of them finds his way down to the lair and gives Perry the opportunity. I'm going to hit the release latch, and it's going to let them all into the lair, and that's going to distract the bunny.
Oh yeah, and then as I demonstrated earlier when Candace was trying to have Mr. Cutie Patootie do tricks, it basically highlighted his love of carrots. Got him to do sit, roll over, do the worm and the robot.
Yep. So he's got a carrot addiction.
Essentially, yes. And he just can't help himself when he sees I think Phineas ordered a metric ton of carrots or something. And then they all go down and he starts eating them, and basically he's gotten so fat that he's unable to escape from Perry.
There's two versions of the Gritty reboot on this one.
Alright, you know what that means, kids. It's Gritty reboot time!
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yes, so two dark, equal. Both are really dark though. Okay, so one, playing it as it is, but just turning the dials a little to the right on the darker side of things. Dennis, he ate himself to death. His addiction got the better of him. He OD'd on carrots. He ate until Perry's going to arrest him, and he's he's not moving.
There actually is precedent of that in real world, vitamin, overdosing on vitamin A. So there's actually is some precedent to that.
Okay, the darker of the Gritty reboots.
This is the last one in October, Dragon, so make it extra dark.
Oh boy! All right. Okay, so Monogram is just really ticked off at Dennis for how far he got, and he's got to set an example, and he can't risk this guy's too dangerous. He's going to say, "Oh, we'll take him to custody, Agent P," and they're never going to tell him what really happened to Dennis. Jacob, would you like to know what happened to Dennis?
Oh yes.
Monogram had him flown to the deep south, and while he was in his obese state, and left him cuffed.
Oh.
And let's just say it was rabbit season.
Oh, I'll be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
As they're flying off, Monogram hears a gunshot, and he just smiles that'll show you.
It's a couple of comments. How long has that game been? I put it in there a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, it's a recent addition, which I kind of in retrospect I wish we had from the beginning. It would have been awesome.
I mean, I did too, but I didn't think of it until recently. And Code Geass had your thoughts. Elmer Fudd would show up and shoot the rabbit and break his neck like he did in Family Guy.
I believe that was actually my introduction to Family Guy. At least one of my early introductions to Family Guy. It was always twisted to me.
That was part of the first episode you watched.
I mean, that's the thing. I forget if that was part of the Stewie Griffin the Untold Story movie or not. But I caught a clip of Family Guy once, and it was always weirdly Trump. Before I actually warmed up to the show, it was oh man, I saw something really dark. I don't know how I feel about it. And then eventually, watched the actual show, I was like, oh man, this is great. At least the early stuff was really great.
I believe the first episode I actually watched was Mr. Griffin Goes to Washington.
That is a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. I think that was the first. I think that's the first one I remember watching.
Yeah. So, I think it's a season 3 episode.
I didn't know the exact season.
That's the smoking episode, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that's the 3rd season. Yeah.
You mean smoke?
No, not now, Jerry.
Are you smoking yet? The subliminal messages.
Yes. All right. Yep. So,
back to this then. Well, unless you have more with the gritty reboot.
Well, I don't know. So that's pretty much it with the gritty reboot for now. But also,
and of course, okay. Sorry, I didn't realize you were finished. Go on.
Just to mention again, so Candace, she's not broken heart at all over her lost rabbit companion. She's like, oh well.
It's like, and Phineas actually gets some empathy for. It's like, well, I turn around and then poof, they're all gone. Welcome to my world. Huh? That must be really annoying. It's like, so they have a little bit of a bonding moment there.
Yeah, that is nice.
And of course, it's like she does seem concerned about Mr. Cutie Patootie, but she does kind of. They do hope he turns up. But despite calling Perry Blander, it was like, oh, Perry, at least you're still around, which is kind of nice. It's like, how do you feel dressing in pink? And he just like zooms in. It's like, Perry doesn't seem too keen to the idea, does he, Dragons?
Nope, he's sweating.
If he's sweating nervously, he's like, oh no. And of course, for valiance and bravery in one of their darkest hours, the OWCA hands out a medal to Planty the Potted Plant and welcomes into the agency. What do you think of that, Dragon?
It's gold.
The OWCA has welcomed its first ever plant agent. And not even Perry, who helped stop a rogue rabbit.
So you know what kind of work the plant's going to get, don't you?
Yeah, he's going to be planted.
Yeah, undercover work.
Yep, undercover plant.
Oh, yeah. No one will ever see it coming.
Exactly. Planty is more useful than Carl.
This is fact. So, moving on to the next episode.
Yes, which is Spa Day. I don't know about you, Dragon, but I could use a bit of a spa day myself.
Couldn't we all?
Oh, yes. And I mean, I've actually been to a spa like that before, like these before. It's quite nice. I mean, I go to mainly massage parlor, but that's beside the point. So, what do you think of this one?
I think it was a Thin Candace story. I think they kind of brought it back at the end to kind of redeem some of that because they kind of called it out and like what I wasn't liking about the episode. But I don't know. The Doofenshmirtz shenanigans are great as they tend to be. We have some cool spa stuff, and but I don't know. It's getting there's a little iffy.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I thought this one was pretty fun.
I'm not crazy about the seaweed rap, honestly. I think it was a bit much.
You mean the song or just the joke?
Well, I think the build-up is fine. The actual payoff is like, really, that's what we were waiting for the whole time? I don't know. It's just it's okay, but it's like, it feels like more like a bit gag that we then extend into the whole song. That's the end of the episode, which is kind of important. So I'm iffy on that.
All right. So of course, the episode begins with Candace and Stacy getting ready for their spa day.
Mm-hmm.
Which, of course, is a very exclusive, and you need to know somebody to get into. Which is, Phineas thinks it sounds fun, but Candace it's mature and grown up, which makes it adult fun. So, Dragon, would you consider going to a spa fun?
it depends who you go with. it could be fun. I don't know. It depends. Do you like sitting in mud?
I mean, I don't know. I've never done the mud bath.
There's sitting in mud. There's seaweed wrap. There's
volcanic rock.
The best part is probably a jacuzzi. That's something for you there. That's fun.
My aunt and uncle actually had a hot tub.
Nothing. So you got the hot tub, you got the jacuzzi, you got
Well,
some people like the sauna. I do not.
technically, the jacuzzi is a kind of hot tub. It's a specific brand, but I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but it's like, speaking of the seaweed, what did you make of Buford trying to get the seaweed?
It's a heroin good time.
It's like he's getting it directly from the source.
Oh yeah.
He's even battling the giant squid again.
Squid's got a score to settle.
Yep. And he's like, give me my seaweed. That's mine. And they're getting like pretty much everything from the source. Like someone delivering like straight up lava into their backyard.
So speaking of which,
Yeah.
one of the best jokes in the episode, we have the delivery guy
Yeah.
and the new recruit delivery guy, and he's asking the question like, "Aren't you a little young?" This is like,
Yes, he is.
sorry, Phineas.
He's new.
No, it's okay. Welcome to the team.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
And then, like, while Candace and Stacy are on their way to the spa, they see Jeremy, or Yummery, or as Candace accidentally says, like going to basically like a Habitat for Humanity kind of thing, like building houses.
Okay, this is the biggest problem I have with the episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so Candace, it's a really dumb thing. If Candace and Stacy, they bump into Jeremy, and Candace insists on helping him build houses for charity, despite the whole philanthropy. Despite that, just she's doing all this while Jeremy is telling her over and over again, like, Candace, really, it's fine. Go have your seat. This spells out literally have your spa day. And look, as funny as your call's very important to us is, I think we wasted that joke. That joke's too good for this moment. Yeah, that's a great joke, and I think we've kind of wasted it here. That's the thing, is it's just not. I don't know. It just feels like a zero sum at the end of the day, where Jeremy's saying like Jeremy's going to leave early anyway. He's not going to be there the whole time. He just helped her out. I don't know. It just feels really pointless. If Jeremy, like, if it was a thing of like she didn't want Jeremy to find out, it was the fact, if we for a gag have him saying like, Candace, I can hear exactly what you're saying. Don't worry about it. It just feels like, what's the point then?
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from on that.
I think those are two gags in conflict with each other. Well, I mean, they're both in some respect funny, but together they're nullifying each other. It's a wash.
They cancel each other out.
Yeah.
Like I said, I see where you're coming from, and I mean, I personally don't really have that much of a problem with that myself, but I see where you're coming from on it.
I'm saying, given it's like a big plot point that gets us them to go into the spa at the end of the episode, it really just feels like we need to delay him for the spa so they can end up at Phineas and Ferb's spa, which is a recurring thing in the show so far, where Phineas and Ferb hear what Candace is up to and then build a better version of it, that when she, through usual faults of her own, gets kicked out or not into the thing she wanted to do that day, she ends up going to the boys' version of
it. Yeah, I see where you're. I understand what you mean there, Dragon.
Yep.
And of course, they're not very good at the house building thing either.
Yep. Code Geass, most recently here, he says, Candace trying to help build houses is admirable of her. Further evidence that she's the show's true protagonist. Yes and no. She wasn't building houses for charity out of the goodness of her heart, though. She was just doing that so she wouldn't look bad in front of Jeremy.
Yeah, I mean, noble intentions and all, but
that's not noble at all. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying it's a noble action, but not with noble intentions.
Okay, there you go.
I mean, it's still doing good, though, in a way, I guess.
I mean, not really. They wrecked the whole place at the end.
But then they fixed it.
I mean, did they, though? It seems like more like they cleaned it up. I don't know if they fixed it.
Remember when they're walking backstage, like Candace is like, and had to rebuild it.
Okay, I guess.
It's like, and then Stacy.
Do you think they really trust them to rebuild it after they destroyed it all in the first place? Do you think it's really a smart move on the charity, on like the Habitat for Humanity people?
Maybe they had supervision.
It still feels like going. Just have the people actually know how to build this. Like, just do it. Okay, who are we kidding here? And lady, you know what? It's that lady's fault too. She could see that clearly. These girls have no business building things. Just send them out of here.
Yeah, but I don't think I mean, I know there's like volunteer work and things like that, but I still think if it's like something like building a house, you still have to be like qualified to do so,
Mm-hmm.
or at least have like very good supervision for it. I mean, I've never done any of that kind of like volunteer work where I build houses myself, but I
Think of
kind
all the
of.
people that Stacy killed with that jackhammer by accident. I mean, Stacy's one for manslaughter now. It's a whole thing.
Oh boy. We can't have that now, can we, Dragon?
No, we can't. No.
The Phineas and Ferb have an association policy for entrance into their spa. I have no idea. I think you can just walk in, or maybe you can just have a reservation for it.
However, Candace does know the owners.
Yep. Didn't work for her previously, but it seemed to work for her here.
It was implied there were other people there beforehand, but we didn't see them.
Well, except for the people in the montage.
There were other people in that montage, then.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, so so Stacy actually forgives Candace and his Candace for something, and because of something that they did a long time ago.
I do like this is what I'm talking about. I do like that Stacy kind of calls that you're imagining. Okay, so Candace is going to have to comp to being a bad friend this episode, and Stacy kind of says like, Candace, yeah, I know that you're starting to sound like one of those shows that we make fun of. Like, yeah, man, I know you did all this, but I've put you through the ringer in the past as well, so we're even.
It's like, you did it for love. That's okay. And of course, so apparently what Stacy did was glue a hamster in Candace's hair to impress Billy Clark. It's like,
you gotta wonder how that really works.
Like, yeah, how do you think like? Do you think that really compares?
A lot of property damage versus a lot of emotional damage, I guess. There was a living thing glued to her scalp.
Yeah, I mean, which one is worse?
Yeah, it's a good question now, though. It's the scalp things. They had to rebuild it. The other thing could be rebuilt. That hamster and that girl are traumatized. And we see how crazy Candace is now. I mean, that sure didn't help.
Yep, they just did it to impress Billy Clark. Billy Clark. All right, so obviously everything works out at the spa. They go to the boys' house, go to the boys again, and enjoy their spa. Anyway, let's talk about what Doofenshmirtz did this episode.
Yeah, so at Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated, he finds a cat.
Unfortunately, they didn't do like a custom intros like Doofenshmirtz checking his mailbox.
Or just Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated mailbox.
I mean, yeah, that would work too.
Let's just give him a jingle where it's like the mail time thing from Blue's Clues.
Doofenshmirtz's mail time. Yeah, like he finds a cat and he finds a cat, which is like has a brown a lot of black fur under its hind legs. So he calls him Mr. Fluffy Pants.
Jacob, why does he call him? What's the other reason he calls him Mr. Fluffy Pants?
Well, the reasons he calls him Mr. Fluffy Pants is because he's fluffy and he looks like he's wearing pants, and he reminds him of his Uncle Fluffy Pants.
Now, Uncle Fluffy Pants is a really good joke.
Yeah. Uncle Fluffy Pants, Doofenshmirtz.
It's the idea of this guy who looks very cat-like and oddly does not wear pants.
Like, I don't know why we called him that.
Yep.
I love Fluffy Pants Doofenshmirtz. Unfortunately, he's dead by the time we see him. So we never actually.
Or is he?
He's dead.
Yeah, he's pretty dead. Yeah.
He's likely deceased. It's like.
So there's still a chance.
Yes, but we never actually see him.
Yeah.
Except in that painting, but he is related. He is related to Doofenshmirtz. Like he's just Doofenshmirtz's uncle, basically. So yeah, it's like so he adopts the cat, thinking that it doesn't belong to anyone. And basically, it's like, oh, it's so cute. You know, it's Doofenshmirtz like having a little bit of a caring side.
Yeah.
I mean, like the last time he caught a cat and it caused him trouble. This time he just adopted it on his own. He seems to actually like cats.
Yeah.
The thing is, he has a problem with dogs barking, but he's perfectly fine with cats in his house.
I mean, cats are on the quiet side. At least, well, I know they meow and stuff, but I mean, they're not like barking like idiots all the time.
I know, but you've never been near like a noisy cat, though, Dragon, have you?
I mean, yeah, okay. Look, it's still not. I'm not a pet guy. Period. I'm just saying, comparatively, at least. Honestly, it's kind of one. You have the dogs barking. On the flip side, you have the cats that just scare the crap out of you when they hop everywhere. It's like like
Yeah.
it's the scare factor of just they just kind of pop up on. It's the jump scare factor.
And then you're sleeping, then you open your eyes and it's staring right into your soul.
Exactly. So there's a whole number of cat stuff.
All right, but Fluffy Pants doesn't really do any of that. Instead, what he does, he starts tearing up Doofenshmirtz's blueprints.
And then going around causing chaos and like firing all the innators.
Firing like the Gloominator, which draws Perry to the building.
Mm-hmm.
Who initially doesn't believe that all this trouble is being caused by a cat.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, Perry Platypus really has to. Okay, Dooper's never really is never really lied like this, and he's. I mean, knowing how stupid he is, I could absolutely buy this cat is causing all this mischief.
Yeah, I mean, Doofenshmirtz can be a threat. It's just very, very, very rarely does it actually happen.
Yeah.
It's like so basically after like he saves the cat that's about to go over the ledge. He catches it, but then he goes over the edge himself.
It's a really cool moment though. Doofenshmirtz trying to save this cat, and then Perry saving them both.
Yeah. So Perry did a very good deed this episode.
Yeah.
It's like so. And so of course they lull in, and the little boy comes up. It's like, you found it! You found my cat!
He's got the Harold Berman moment from Hey Arnold, the whole thing with Cupcake. Like, is he gonna give back the cat or not? And he's just calling it out.
I'm going to do the right thing here, aren't I? And then he's like, here you go.
Yeah.
And there's like everyone around him is like,
oh,
bunch of people
have jobs.
So what's Dragon? It was kind of brought up in the middle of the episode, but what do you think of Dr. Coconut?
Yeah, so yet again, I'm going, dang it, Carl.
Okay.
You're making us look bad.
Little hint there, I guess.
Yeah. Like, yes. Who's a Carl? Should we look for a Carl who'd pull off the coconut thing better, or who would not do the coconut thing?
I mean, probably Carl, but I don't know. Like, Fredrickson definitely wouldn't do any of that.
Yeah.
He's too old for it.
Carl the Minion, he definitely would do the coconut thing.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know how much he sings about fruit.
Oh yeah. So fun. I do love. There's a really really great joke with Carl in the episode though earlier.
It's like, oh yeah, like when Perry enters his lair to talk about it, to then for Monogram to give the mission. It's like, Carl, have you seen my parachute pants? Yes, sir. They're very nice. I mean, seriously, Carl. It was a joke, sir. Oh, it was funny.
That's what I'm saying. I love that Carl actually told a really good joke, and Monogram's giving him props for it.
Carlos would totally do that. He says, yep. and of course he's like, do you want the paint splatter ones or the triangles? It's like, triangles, please. I have the sudden urge to pop and lock.
We didn't see Monogram in those pants.
We rarely do. I don't think we ever see him in those pants.
Yep.
But so yeah.
Do you think he was wearing pants in that video call though?
It's hard to. I mean, who knows? We do have evidence of him not wearing his pants. So
that's why I'm asking, because we've seen him not wear those pants before. Do you think he's wearing them now?
It's entirely possible that he's not.
Okay.
It's like And Dragon, you know how I've like mentioned like these how numerous times you've asked me of these one-off characters that like never appear again.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention this previously. We do get to see Dennis one more time. Dennis,
We do?
yep, Dennis does come back in season 4. I forgot to bring that up during the previous episode.
Is he a threat?
He teams up with Doofenshmirtz
Ooh.
and Norm.
An evil trifecta.
Like, keep in mind, we haven't seen Norm yet this season, believe it or not.
Well, no, we saw Norm this season.
Like, very briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't really become a regular till later on this season and in season 3. That's when he started to become more of a Norm.
Yeah, then every time he pops up in the scene, we'll go, Norm!
Norm! Cheery guy, that one.
Yep.
Alright. So, do you think that's it for Dragon?
I wasn't crazy about the seaweed rap number at the end. This felt a little like, I liked the music we kind of started with. We're just kind of going through the sauna, the spa and everything. It's like, I guess kind of nice and soothing, which is kind of the point. And then it's like, like, hey, remember that seaweed rap gag we made earlier? Let's make the whole song that.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
I said, of course, Dr. Coconut.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no explanation for it at all. It's just Carl just turns on a record, puts on a hula outfit.
Well, it didn't come out of nowhere. Doof just has nicknames for people, and he knew that Carl did this.
And he's like, yeah, I wish I didn't know so much.
Yep.
But outside of that, there's no explanation as to why. I mean, I guess it's other than the fact that it's probably just a hobby that Carl has.
It's best not to ask.
Probably, you're right. Some things are better left unknown. Some things we were not meant to understand.
Be like a satanic ritual or something for Carl. We don't know.
Carl the Satanist.
Okay, real quick. One more Gritty reboot.
All right, Gritty reboot time.
Okay. Barry the Platypus has this moment where he and Doofenshmirtz and Mr. Fluffy Pants, they're on the roof, and like the cat falls, and Doofenshmirtz goes after the cat, and Barry the Platypus does not leap off the roof, but he tries reaching for him, and he watches the splat and he feels terrible about it. He's just wondering, like, oh God, I should have saved. I should have believed him when he told me. I didn't have to get. Why did I punch him? Why did I get into that altercation over a cat? I mean, their 2 lives are now gone, and I don't know how to work the cloning machine. Oh God, I've killed him. Maybe his daughter knows how to work the cloning machine. Oh God, what have I done? I don't have Vanessa's phone number. I'm not going to be able to find her.
Oh God!
This is terrible. Look, he's just like a bloody mess. Oh, look, there's the boy. The kid's just found his cat, but it's dead. Oh my God! I'm a monster in a little hat. Oh no!
Oh God! Let's see. We have a comment. The moral of the episode is that Candace is the hero build houses out of love. She's the hero that the tri-state area deserves.
Oh, that's one way of putting it.
Yes. Yes, it is. Anyway, so I think that about does it for tonight. What do you think, Dragon?
Yep.
Oh, whoops. We kind of have to cut this episode short a bit because we're making room for the next haunted holiday hijinks. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, be sure not to stay away for too long. All right, Dragon, you want to tell them what it is?
The Batman.
Oh yes.
No, not Batman vs. Dracula. I already covered that one. You can find it if you type in the haunted holiday hijinks Batman vs. Dracula.
Oh yes.
This is Grundy's night.
Grundy, Solomon Grundy.
Born on Monday.
Christened on Tuesday. I'm not gonna go through the whole poem.
Well, could you go through one more?
I don't know what Wednesday is. I was kind of hoping to do it back and forth.
Never mind.
Like I only know born on a Monday, christened on Tuesday.
Forget when he was buried. That's the thing. I don't know if Wednesday was buried or dead. It was dead on. It was sick on Wednesday or dead on Wednesday.
All right. All right. Let's see. Born on a Monday, christened on Tuesday, married on a Wednesday.
Oh, I was married.
Took ill on Thursday, grew worse
Yep.
on Friday, died on Saturday, buried on Sunday. That is the end of Solomon Grundy.
There you go.
All right, so be sure to tune in for that coming up at 11. And so join us next time on the Phineas and Ferb Recap-inator, where the boys blow bubbles like men. Good night, everybody.
Now that they're men.
They can do anything now that they're men.